How's it going, everyone? Venomous Stare here, and today we're going to be talking about the Texas Rangers and what they did at the trade deadline. I covered DFW sports on this channel a lot. Put it over gaming footage. If that's something you like, subscribe for more. So the Rangers really went to town today. They were aggressive buyers at the deadline, but they avoided trading away their two top prospects. And this really goes to show what a genius John Daniels is, and the fact that he really has his head in the right place the last few years. I think if you look back at the Cliff Lee trade, that's something that I think marked a significant change in attitude for the Rangers. It was a dedication to, hey, we're going to go get starting pitching. We're not going to be a one-trick pony, offense-only team. We're actually going to go try to get pitching at the deadline, consistent, inning-eating, starting pitching that you can rely on in the playoffs. And from that point on, the Rangers have been building up their starting pitching roster, whether it be with people like Matt Harrison for a few years, who ended up failing, people like Derek Holland, who was also very good for a few years, but once again has suffered from injuries like Harrison, or someone who succeeded very well like Yu Darvish, who has continued to succeed up until this point, but has been injury prone as well. The Rangers also, of course, went out and got Cole Hamels, which, very similar to the Cliff Lee trade, he's an exceptional Philadelphia Phillies pitcher that came in for the Rangers and put in serious work. And Cole Hamels is the person that you want pitching for you in the playoffs. He has great stuff. He does not have control issues. He's consistent. He's talented, sharp, clutch. He's everything you could want in a starting pitcher. And I think Yu Darvish, although severely injury prone, when he's on, his stuff is potentially better than Hamels. He is that good. He's a pitcher who flummoxes hitters, has a wider range of pitches. He's always doing creative things, I feel. And he's a very good guy to have in your number two spot. Probably one of the best in the MLB to have in your number two spot. Then if you look at number three, Colby Lewis, who's hurt at the moment, set to return in late August. He's a player who, after spending time in the Japanese League, has proven time and time and again he comes through when it matters. If you look at his performance in the ALCS versus the Yankees, he played very well in that series. And if you look at even this season before his injury, he's flirted with perfect games, no hitters. This is a guy who eats innings, something that oftentimes Rangers pitchers have problems doing. Colby Lewis, I think, is the rock for the Rangers. He's hurt now, and that was essential and why the Rangers faltered severely and why they got decimated by the Minnesota Twins before the All-Star break. They lacked their rock. Sure, you could argue Cole Hamels, but in my opinion, Cole Hamels is the great exception. He's exceptionally talented and not injury prone. He's one of the best players in the game for certain. And we saw that in the All-Star game when he came in, I think, in the third inning and cleaned up a huge mess. But I really think you kind of have to throw Cole Hamels out when you talk about Rangers pitching as a whole, because to a certain extent he is just everything. He's everything that you want in a player, and particularly a starting pitcher. So let's move on to Derek Holland, who is very good and probably my favorite player, honestly. But he's proven time and time and again he can't stay healthy. It's kind of a tragic story. If you look at his performances, he had the game where he almost finished a complete game shutout versus the Cardinals in the World Series. And I think that's one of the best postseason pitching performances by a Texas Ranger ever. And I think that Derek Holland is a fun personality and like a good person in general. He does a lot of good things for the DFW community, and I really hope that he can get his injury problem sorted out and succeed. And I think that when he's healthy, he's very good. That being said, he's always hurt. So, I mean, if he can somehow become healthy right at the right moment and be sharp and not be rusty, that's great, and I hope it happens. He's set to return in late August, as just like Lewis is. So that's the starting pitching. People say that the Rangers needed to solidify that because Yu Darvish had recently returned from an injury and it was going very poorly for the Rangers. So what did John Daniels do? The fans and the ticket ticker called for, oh, starting pitching. We need starting pitching to get us through these dark times. Daniels said nay. He chose to go for hitting and relief pitching instead. And I think this is a great idea. And what did he give away for it? Almost nothing. He avoided giving away Joey Gallo and Jurickson Profar, the Rangers' two top prospects that they really, really wanted to keep. And Daniels traded for Carlos Beltran, who's a very good player, former Houston Astro, batting around 300 with good power. He also traded for Jonathan LaCroix and Jeremy Jeffries from the Brewers. Now LaCroix, if you don't know, he's a very good catcher. Joe Mauer type, I would say. Not quite as good. Plays solid defense, hits for power, and he's hitting .299 right now. So that's obviously exceptional and for a catcher, and it's way better than what we can expect currently from the ragtag group of dreamers that is the catching platoon from the Rangers the last few years, minus Benji Molina and a few others. But he's going to come in and do a great job, I suspect, LaCroix, and he's going to catch one of his best relief pitchers, the Brewers setup man, Jeremy Jeffries, who is a hard-throwing setup man. He's a guy that comes in and really lights up the radar gun, which I think is exciting to watch. I think the Rangers have guys like that now, but you can never really have too many of those guys, especially in the postseason. And Neftali Feliz was very good at that for a while, and he's gone now, and I think that it's nice that the Rangers are kind of replacing him, even though that there were already people in place that pitched in that style. I just really like that style, honestly. It's my favorite. Other than knuckleball pitchers, it's my favorite type of pitcher to watch. Now, Carlos Beltran pretty much needs no introduction. The guy's a for sure Hall of Famer. He hits for exceptional power, and he's going to play DH and fill the void that Prince Fielder left after an insanely worthless season where he consistently contributed nothing and then got hurt for the rest of the year while being paid handsomely the whole time. So if you enjoyed this, subscribe for more Stars and Rangers videos as well as gaming content. There will be more StarCraft 2 videos on the way shortly. Subscribe.